tomorrow yet to come. We have today. Let us begin a fresh meeting, Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Meeting number 1173. Before going ahead, we have some ground rules to follow. Please keep your mobile silent or switch off mode. I'll give 5 seconds for that. Please confirm. Because if it rings, it spoils the flow of our meeting. So please request you to switch off or silent, keep it in silent mode. All of you done? Great. Second, please refrain from talking about sex, religion and politics because it may hurt others' sentiment. And don't move around while a speaker is speaking because it may distract him. And there is one more rule or suggestion. Please don't walk around this camera area. Yes. So going ahead, I am glad to introduce to you a human being. A true human being, very helpful in nature, each and every time he comes on stage, he inspires everyone. He inspires me to look at to north. Your true north. Please help me welcome President of our club, Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan.
Thanks so much, Srijit. I call to order meeting 1173. As is the practice, now I request the secretary to let us know about the minutes of the previous meeting, that is 1172.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Vivek. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The minutes of the meeting 1172 was published on Wednesday, that is 7th of August, and there was one amendment, and currently no more amendments were received. So, back to you.
Thank you. I think we need to applaud for his efforts. If we look back at why do we need the meeting minutes? The minutes meeting happens. Why do we need the minutes? Long back when you could not videograph or take the audio of the entire meeting, you do not know what was the decisions taken in the meeting. So that is the reason why minutes were very clearly recorded. Now, after the minutes are recorded, it needs to be passed because minutes are susceptible to errors, and that is the reason why this is passed. In this case, you might ask whatever is happening on stage gets recorded, but whatever is not in the stage, it does not get recorded, and that is what he majorly captures in his minutes, like who came, who attended, which members were present, how many of the committee members were present, and things like that. So that is the reason, that is the history of the minutes of the meeting. So, all right. Having said that, guess how many of you are first time guests here? First time. Can you by raise of hands? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because on a rainy day, on a wet rainy day when it is cold, you had many other places to go. Frankly speaking, I wouldn't have been here. There are other places to go, if I'm not a member. But I really am encouraged by your enthusiasm to be here. Take one person out of this group, first time guest, and ask that person to say what makes him come here today. Can I have the one with the check shirt? Tell as to what brings you. You can tell from this. Yeah. What brings you here?
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. Hi all. What brings me here? Toastmaster. So I was not able to network or communicate properly, and that's when I realized that I want to improvise on that skill. So that's why I thought that this is the best platform to improvise your communication and networking skill.
Absolutely. This is called a laboratory of public speaking and laboratory for leadership skills. So here people come here, experiment, fail, come back, experiment, and each day they improve. So you are in the right place to start with. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You had a question, or you wanted to? You stood up.
I'm a first time to
First time. So what brings you here?
So I'm part of ISB, which PCP Pro founding batch in Bangalore.
Okay.
So I'm the professional clubs leads for the ISB PCP Pro batch.
Okay.
So I want to understand like how this functions, and I wanted to bring my entire batch here if possible.
Absolutely.
To interact with people.
That would be a delight. So what we can do is we have a break at around 7:30 for a 5 to 10 minutes break. You can speak to any of the committee members. Can I request committee members, including myself, to stand, to raise for a moment? These are the committee members. Feel free to reach any of us. We will be able to help you. This is applicable to rest of you as well, the guests whom you, if you want to catch us and know what Toastmasters is all about, please do. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Coming to the theme of the meeting today, in 2018, November 26th, this person called Karamveer Singh was the general manager of Taj Palace Hotel Taj Palace in Mumbai. So, since he was the general manager, he used to live with his family on the 6th floor. I think they had a penthouse or a residence given to him. So he was there. And most of you know what happened on that day. Towards the evening, Mumbai was under terror attack. And Taj Palace was one of the main centers, one of the prime targets of this terrorists. And it almost got burned down completely. Karamveer Singh was helping people to get out of the hotel, the guests primarily, and the staff. At the end, towards the midnight, he realized that his wife and 2 kids, one 12-year-old and one 6-year-old, was just stuck. He thought that they would have escaped. They had not. They had inhaled the toxic fumes and had died. It's extremely tragic for a person. Some people do not recover in life. But for him, yesterday was gone. Tomorrow has not come. There is only today. What he did is to turn up the very next day to a hotel. He was there, continuing to rebuild the hotel. They rebuilt the hotel and opened a fresh new hotel in around March. He says he takes one day at a time. Takes one day at a time. He was one of the heroes of the 26/11 attack on Mumbai. When many of us just complain about a small raise that you don't get at office, or for a toy you didn't get as a child, or about your insecurities of tomorrow, look at people like this. I'm ashamed at my own behavior at times when I realize that these kind of people who have lost everything almost and still are able to bounce back. Now, completely different topic. Usually, for the women in India, or women worldwide, what really happens is they are working for their family. Usually they raise their kids for a long number of years. In this case, we have a lady in our club who raised an illustrious daughter. Now, after raising, what usually happens for women of this sort is that by the time they are in a marathon and they reach the finishing line, they have crossed their 55 or 60. And at the same time, they will have some sort of a satisfaction within themselves of achieving all this, but at the same time, there is some sort of a frustration because they have not been able to live their own life even for a few moments. But there are some people who take all this in a stride. This particular person whom I'm talking about joins the Toastmasters Club after 60s, after she is 60. That's very, very difficult, ladies and gentlemen. You can be in Toastmasters much before and become 60, that's easy. But to join at 60 does not happen, because the fear of public speaking is close to the fear of death. Now, that doesn't stop there. She wants to go on a motorbike expedition. I don't call it an expedition, maybe a long ride on a motorbike. She goes all the way to Nandi Hills on a motorbike. Can you imagine? In her 60s. She runs a 5K. Marathon, no, run, whatever you call that. That's a 5K. 5K is difficult. 5K is difficult. People at 20s cannot run 1K. This person has run 5K. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to bringing up an illustrious daughter, we have today the Toastmaster of the day who will take us through the entire meeting, Toastmaster Rita Das.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that wonderful introduction. I know from where you got it. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
And welcome to Toastmasters, Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Thank you.
Before we begin, may I request you all to please stand. You can join me for a little bit of fun as a team. So let's start. The Toastmasters love clapping. So let's start with a little clap. The Toastmasters clap. Now, pat your knees. Pat, pat, pat. Please do it. Then stomp your feet. Stomp your feet. Blink your eyes. Blink, blink, blink.
Without like.
Yes, and wiggle your ears. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Great. All of you have got it. That was only trial. Now let's pep it up with some music. And do the same thing.
Get ready to clap your hands.
Following.
Can you stomp your feet? Now let's blink our eyes. Blink, blink, blink your eyes. Blink your eyes together. Blink, blink, blink your eyes. Blink your eyes together. Get ready to wiggle your ears. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your ears. Wiggle your ears together. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your ears. Wiggle your ears together. Now clap your hands.
Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please sit down. Many moons ago, a young, intelligent gentleman once said, "We learn best in our moments of enjoyment." Could anyone tell me who that gentleman was? Exactly. The man who started Toastmaster International, and today, many of us sitting in this room would never have met each other. During his tenure as the director of the YMCA, he realized the need for public speaking, and that's when he started the first Toastmasters Club on October 22nd, 1924. in Santa Ana, California. Today, we have 3,57,000 members in around 114 countries, with about 16,600 individual clubs around the globe. Our very own Bangalore Toastmasters Club was started in the year 1997. It is the second oldest club and one of the largest one in the country. Now coming to today's theme, yesterday is gone, tomorrow has yet to come. We have only today, so let's begin. Now this quote of my Mother Teresa reminds me of a small story which I would like to share with you all. There was this man who was walking in the wilderness. He was walking and suddenly he encountered a ferocious tiger. Not knowing what to do, he starts running. He starts running, and then the tiger also keeps chasing him until he reaches the edge of a cliff. Now he is there, the tiger is here. He suddenly sees a vine and he catches hold on to that vine and he starts getting down to the bottom of the cliff. Midway, when he is on that on that vine, holding on to it, he suddenly sees two mice, a black and a white one. They came out of the hole from the cliff and they started gnawing at that vine which he was catching on to. He got so frightened, he started panicking because he knew now he wouldn't last. And he looked down, and what did he see there? He saw another tiger there waiting for him, inviting him there. Not knowing what to do, panicking, he was between the devil and the big sea and the big blue sea. So what he suddenly he saw some strawberries growing there. He put his hand out, he plucked one strawberry, he ate it. It was sweet and delicious. He again went on eating. He ate them so many times that he forgot about his perils on top and down. Had he gone back, the tiger on the top of the cliff was reminding him of this yesterday. So had he climbed back, he would have gone and dwelt in his past, which would have been a disaster. Looking down, he saw the tiger down there. That was his tomorrow, which the perils hadn't yet come to him. And the midway that he was dangling was his today, in between yesterday and tomorrow. All that he could do, and the black and the white mice were representing the night and day, which are the days which we go by. The wine that he holds on to reminds us about the worldly things we catch on to and stick to it. The strawberries are the amazing things that we find around us, and he went on eating those strawberries and forgot about his thing. In the same way, we also should do the same thing. We should forget about our past and our future and concentrate on the present and look at all the things around us and enjoy the benefits of today. Yes. Now, from coming back from the many moons, we come back to the present meeting. Our present meeting for today is of 3 sections. The first, the prepared speeches. We have 4 prepared speeches. The second is the table topic session, where the table topic master comes on stage and calls people randomly from the crowd and gives them topics to speak on impromptu. The third session is the evaluation section, which helps each and one of us how to grow in Toastmasters. Yes. And above all, we have a general evaluator who oversees the whole meeting. Our general evaluator for today is a computer science engineer working with reflection as a quality assurance architect. He is an avid runner, high on energy, and always ready to help. Our past VP membership and current VP education. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Toastmaster Vijay Kalkundri. assisted by a tag team comprising of a timer, an hour counter, and a grammarian. Our timer for today is T.M. Nagendran. Request you to please read out your guidelines.
Hello, good evening everyone.
Good evening.
As a timer, it is my duty to time and record the duration of the entire meeting and its individual part. For today's meeting, the speeches are of 5 to 7 minutes in duration. At 5 minutes, I will hold up the green card, at 6 minutes, yellow card, and at 7 minutes, red card. Table topic speeches are of 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will hold up the green card, at 1.5 minutes, 1.5 minutes, yellow card, and at 2 minutes, a red card. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report to the general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you. Our counter is by Toastmaster Nitesh. Could you please read out?
Good evening to dear Toastmasters and guests. As our counter, I'll be listening very carefully for the use of vocal pauses and crutch words such as you know, and repetitive words or phrases. At the end of the meeting, I'll present my report to the general evaluator.
Thank you. Toastmaster Soumya.
A very good evening, everyone. As the grammarian for today, I'll be the grammar police and keep a keen ear for the usage of the English grammar. I not only make notes about the usage that can be improved, but also make notes of very good usage. I'm also responsible for introducing the word of the day, which is many moons ago. Many moons ago is a phrase and synonyms with a long time ago or in the past. This is linked to the Native Americans who could not keep track of time like we do now. So they only knew days and nights by the sun and the moon. To say that you were talking about something a long time ago, they would say many moons ago, because the moon has shone many times since the event they are talking about has happened. I encourage all members to use the word of the day. A good example would be, I'm sure many members would agree with me, that you can recollect walking into this door many moons ago as a guest, and we welcome all other guests here today. I will present my findings during the general evaluation.
Thank you, Soumya. Now, to help evaluators to do better, we have an evaluation team. Vivek, Jospal, and Sudeep. So please meet them during your break. Now we shall move on to the first section of today's meeting, the prepared speech section. Our first speaker of the day is attempting Project 9 from the Competent Communicator Manual, and he is being evaluated by DTM Smithra. Ma'am, please, I request you to please read out the rules.